Africa Trade Hub and in partnership with the Malawi Grain Traders and Processors Association, Malawi Organic Growers Association, as well as the Planetarium Institute. And these awards are going to recognize the efforts by exporters in overcoming market entry hurdles and achieving success and consistency in the export. The award will also recognize individual export firms that stand out for their impressive achievement in the 3 categories that have been highlighted. Meanwhile, I would like to encourage you to switch off your cameras unless you're invited to speak. I also invite you to switch off your mics just to ensure that we have some order in the event. Meanwhile, let me invite our musician, Praise Umali, who is going to play some soft music. Thank you.
coming back for more. My heart's addicted to seeing you go. And I've been trying to walk away, but my heart boomerang. There's every reason to go, but my heart choose to stay. Yeah. Choose to stay, my heart choose to stay. Choose to stay, my heart choose to stay. Oh, my God, baby. When you mango, baby. I need your time when I need. I need your time when I need. I want you to mind when I need your time when I need. I need your mind when I need your time when I need. Yeah. What do you got for me now, baby? You and the winning the car. As you know me, I'm too good, you're not for me. No, yeah. You and the motor and the car. Would you choose to stay? I choose to stay. Choose to stay. I choose to stay. Choose to stay. I choose to stay. Choose to stay. I choose to stay. Still I choose to stay. I choose to stay on my own, baby. When you mango, baby, I need your time when I need. I need your time when I want you to mind when I need your time when I need you to mind I need your time when I need. Still I choose to stay, I choose to stay. Choose to stay, ma, choose to stay. Choose to stay, ma, choose to stay. Choose to stay, ma, choose to stay. Still I choose to stay, ma, choose to stay. Oh, mango, kala, baby. When you mango, kala, baby. I need your time. It doesn't feel like home. It echoes when I'm speaking on my own. The silence on the other side of the phone. I get to wonder if you're hearing me at all. It's cold without you here again. We've been here over and again. And yet it's always me, here I go again and falling. It's always me, here I go again and falling. Speaking over you, I never head talk. Pay attention to the pain you never know. Cause more on the things that matter less. Your hand is always out reaching out to me.
I need you to.
Go cold without you here. Dreaming of yeah. It's always me, here I go again, I'm holding tight. It's always me here, I go again and forth. And I keep falling back into your arms, your arms. I keep falling into your arms, your arms. Keep falling I keep falling This song will guide you home. My voice will lead you home. My heart is at peace. I know where to go. Some days the peace around. Sometimes the world can break you down. But my heart is at peace. I know you'll be good where you go. Come on, sit you down, you will set your damn time. For this world will love you too. 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 My words will be your home when you're lost and feel alone. But I know you trust the Lord, so I know you'll be good where you go. And remember this one thing, you will put all your plans in the hands of the Father. You will. And for we plan for God for peace. He'll be with you where you go. Come on, set your damn mountain. You will set your damn mountain. Cause this world will love you too. 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 This world will love you. But if God takes you home and some dreams don't come to life, I'll know the angels loved you too. The angels loved you too. The angels loved you too.
Thank you so much, Praise. Amazing music, soothing to the soul. Once again, thank you so much. Welcome to the Malawi Exporters Award. Good morning. I would like to acknowledge the presence of all dignitaries, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. My name is Ngawira Chatata. I will be your MC for this ceremony. Welcome on board. Some housekeeping rules. Let's keep our cameras off. Also, please observe that your mic is off. I also want to, this is a celebration ceremony, so I would like to invite you to be free to clap once the awards are being given, and also you can clap virtually by clicking the button. At this moment, we're going to have the national anthem. Let's join in.
Put down each and every enemy of God is His and free. Join together all of us as one, that in Jesus' name. Bless our leader, each and every one, and Father God now we.
So much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are here to celebrate the exporters, this Malawi Exporters Award has not been could not have been possible without the commitment from the team, the organizing team that was led by the USAID Southern Africa Trade and Investment Hub in collaboration with the Malawi Grain Traders and Processors Association, as well as the Malawi Organic Growers Association and Planetarium Institute. I would like to thank these people, these organizations, for the hard work that they've put in. We'd also want to acknowledge Ministry of Trade for the support that they have provided to the organizing team. So this morning, we are going to have, we have a lineup of speakers that are going to touch on different aspects of the export. I would like to invite to the podium Mrs. Grace Mijiga. She is the chairperson of the Grain Traders and Processors Association, and she's going to touch on the Malawi Trade Promotion Service. She's going to touch on the commitment that is there from the Grain Traders Association of Malawi in creating an enabling environment for the private sector to operate and strengthen the market institutions. She's going to present on the supplier development strategy for the agricultural commodity and export firms. Welcome, Madam Grace Mijiga.
Thank you, Ngawa. Good morning, our distinguished guest. Allow me to switch off my TV, I mean my video, because it distracts the voice. Thank you. Let me begin by paying my respect and recognizing the presence of the Director of Foreign Trade, Mr. Mufa Muntali, USAID Mission Deputy Director, Dr. Anna Tones, USAID Trade Hub Contracting Officer Representative, Mr. Alan Hackner, USAID Trade Hub Chief of Party, Dr. Gordon Mahowe, USAID Deputy Chief Director of Party, Mr. George Makore, USAID Trade Hub Portfolio Manager for Botswana, Namibia, and Malawi, Ms. Frances Fraser, Executive Director of the Malawi Organic Association, Mr. Stanley Chidaya, Team Leader of Planetarium Institute, Mr. Charles Henley Nyekanyeka, Managing Director of the Export Development Fund, Mr. Gerard Somba, government officials present, Malawi private sector representatives, illustrious exporters whom we are gathered here to celebrate, members of the media, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observed. On behalf of the organizing task force, and indeed on my own behalf, it gives me honor, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome the Director of Foreign Trade, Mr. Mufa Muntali, and the USAID and the US government representatives through Dr. Anna Tones to this inaugural Malawi Annual Export Award event. This event, Director, ladies and gentlemen, is a successful collaboration of private sector actors to recognize the countries and their own constituents' efforts in complementing the Malawi government's relentless efforts to achieve sustainable growth and development, improving living standards and creating wealth among Malawians through trade. This is in line with the Malawi government's wealth creation agenda, which recognizes trade and export trade in particular as a key to decent jobs, increased incomes, and sustainable livelihoods, and articulated in the country's medium to long-term national development instrument, such as the Malawi Growth and Development Strategy, MGDS3, the National Export Strategy, NES2, the National AGOA Responsive Strategy and Action Plan for Malawi, and the recently launched Malawi Vision 2063, among others. Let me therefore take this opportunity, Director, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize the invaluable contributions of the organizing task force members. This event, Director, is a product of selfless contributions, dedication, and commitment of these patriotic private sector actors forming the organizing task force, whose invariable time, talents, and treasures have led to this auspicious inaugural event to recognize the country's exporters. The noble partners worked tirelessly against all odds and voluntarily to deliver this event in style. Let's applaud them for their efforts. Last but not least, Director, on behalf of the organizing task force, I'm very grateful to your ministry through the Office of the Principal Secretary for the tremendous support that was accorded to us, particularly in ensuring your presence at this important event this morning. We also fortunate, Director, ladies and gentlemen, to have the unwavering support of selfless development partners who have provided the financial and technical support to make this event a reality, including the United States government through USAID. With these few remarks, I would like to thank you once again, Director, the USAID representatives, and all distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, for taking your time amidst conflicting priorities to witness this momentous occasion. We do not take your presence here today for granted. I thank you all. Hello?
Madam MC, we don't hear you at this stage. It looks like you're on mute.
Thank you so much, Madam Grace. We appreciate the efforts by the task force to organize this event, and also just to touch on how export is critical to the wealth creation agenda that is the government of Malawi is advancing at this moment. Let me also welcome Dr. Ann Torres, Acting Deputy Mission Director for USAID, who is going to make opening remarks for the event. Madam Torres, you're invited to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Allow me to begin by paying my respects to the Deputy Director for Foreign Trade, Mr. Mufwa Muntali, Secretary for Trade, Madam Christina Zakeyo, Chairperson of the Grain Traders and Processors Association, Madam Grace Munjiga Muhangu, Executive Director of the Malawi Organic Growers Association, Mr. Stanley Chadaya, Team Leader of the Planetarian Institute, Mr. Charles Henry Nyeka Nyeka, Managing Director of the Export Development Fund, Mr. Gerald Nsomba, government officials, export companies, and other Malawi private sector representatives, members of the media, and colleagues at the Trade Hub and Organizing Committee, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I'm very pleased to join the Deputy Director for Foreign Trade, Mr. Mufwa Muntali, and other illustrious guests here today for the first ever Malawi Annual Exporter Awards to recognize excellence and innovation of Malawian export firms towards reaching export markets. In its recently launched Malawi Vision 2063, an inclusively wealthy and self-reliant nation, the government of Malawi has prioritized shifting the structure of the country's economy from a predominantly importing to an industrialized exporting economy, and thus transforming the country's development agenda from focusing on poverty reduction alone to also wealth creation among the people of Malawi. This vision, in my mind, clearly recognizes that the growth of businesses and exports are key to Malawi's future. The US government, through the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, who I represent and partner with all of you, really continues to partner closely with the Malawian government, with diverse private sector actors, firms, from producers to exporters, and business and industry membership-based associations in Malawi. And today we're here to celebrate one aspect of that partnership, which I'm very proud to be here to celebrate with you. The partnership to support firms that are seeking to export to both South Africa and to US markets through the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, and other methods. We see many of the companies here as critical to support Malawi's transformation towards this export-led economic growth model. And we do this because USAID believes strongly that private sector enterprise is a powerful force for lifting lives, strengthening communities, and accelerating sustainable development. For example, I just want to share a few figures that I find impressive and that highlight the important role that all of you play here today and that we're here to recognize. Malawi is a strong partner as a net exporter of goods to the US market. For example, the US imports from Malawi totaled 80 million in 2019-2020, which was up 40%, almost 40%, or 23 million from the year prior. During that period, for example, the total two-way goods trade between Malawi and the United States was 103 million, with exports from US to Malawi at 23 million, while goods from Malawi to the United States totaling 80 million, as I mentioned. In other words, a positive goods trade deficit of 57 million in favor of Malawi. The top import categories from Malawi into the United States were also impressive. 38 million in tobacco, 18 million in tea, 13 million in tree nuts, 8 million in sugar, 2 million in knit apparel, and 1 million in unroasted coffee. And during that same period, Malawi exported approximately 60 million to South Africa. The main products exported from Malawi to South Africa were tea at almost 18 million, 9.2 million in other nuts, and 5.4 in raw sugar. All of this are just many numbers, but that really portray the power of exports and the growth in the industry. And it really proves that there's excellence in its export of agriculture products and highlights the potential that exists there, which is why we are here today to bring together the first Malawi Annual Exporter Awards 2021 event. And it's been created for this reason. It's meant to recognize and congratulate those of you who contributed to these growing export figures from Malawi. We hope that it demonstrates not only the outstanding work today and the growth in recent years, but the great potential and capacity to expand further and increase and diversify these export figures in years to come. At this juncture, I would really like to thank our private sector partners in Malawi and the Ministry of Trade for taking this opportunity to partner with USAID through the Southern Africa Trade and Investment Hub to coordinate and host the Exporter Awards event, the first ever of its kind here in Malawi. Our hope is that this recognition and excellence among exporters will incentivize and encourage export firms in Malawi to explore innovative ways of improving their export competitiveness and to get new and more products into markets such as South Africa and the United States. USAID's approach towards Exporter Awards initiative across the region is to partner with trade promotion service providers such as GTPA, MOGA, and Planetarium Institute. We're appreciative of our partnership with you. Their mandates already center around providing support to export-ready firms within their respective countries and access markets. For example, USAID entered into this formal partnership with the Malawi Organic Growers Association, with Grain Traders and Processors Association, and other trade promotion service providers in 2020 to implement the supplier development framework to support the capacity and development of Malawian exporters to South Africa and the United States in the hopes of growing those. This partnership involves things like co-hosting industry events and workshops to build capacity and to build linkages, facilitation of these market linkages, and support for implementing the National AGOA response strategy and action plan for Malawi. I'm very pleased to note that through the supplier development framework, GTPA, for example, has developed a standalone program called Aligning Production to Market, which drives production and exports in agriculture commodities sector in Malawi. Further, USAID has been involved in transferring skills and knowledge to all sorts of private sector partners as a mechanism to enhance the sustainability of the US Trade Hub's program's impact. This event, for example, demonstrates our commitment to ensure that sustainability, and it's really designed to be embedded in the industry through the private sector as it moves forward through the years. Ladies and gentlemen, before I close, I would like to reaffirm the commitment of the United States government to support programs that promote market-led solutions and ensure sustainability, and our commitment to partner with both the government of Malawi and all of the private sector actors in this country to grow the economy here and build wealth creation, as is the vision of Malawi. It's important that this program continues far beyond USAID's assistance. We're a partner at the beginning and in the middle of this process, but certainly hope to see all these things move forward without us. And we want to ensure the lasting economic advancement of Malawi as longstanding partners. I'd also like to extend a vote of thanks to the export companies here, particularly those nominated for the award, and wishing you all the best. We're here to celebrate your achievements. I hope the awards are going to spur you on to achieve more exports, benefiting both your companies as well as Malawi as a whole. I applaud the public and private collaborative efforts that this event symbolizes, and the important role that partnerships play for Malawi's export base and competitiveness. And this is an important element today more than ever to overcome the impacts of COVID-19 that we are all experiencing today. The nominations here are representative of a diversifying industry covering everything from agro-processed products exported from Malawi, as well as many other products. I would really like to congratulate the top nominees this morning on this feat. I wish you all continued good health and prosperity. Stay safe. Please continue your vigilance, all guests, and practice the 3 W's, wear a mask, wash hands, and watch your distance. Please stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ann. That was so motivating for the nominees, of course, as well as for the players in the sector. And it's very encouraging to hear that there is growth in the exports from Malawi. That is something that we have to uphold, and then we have to even move forward. I also noted how you emphasized on the need for new innovative new products, getting new products into the market. Yeah, as entrepreneurs, we are taking the challenge and we'll do just that. And yes, the emphasis also on the partnership, the importance of public partnerships in the sector. We need to do that because that's the way we can open the markets for exports. Thank you so much. At this moment, you agree with me that we cannot do exports without financing. And yes, this is one of the key barriers. And I'm happy this morning to invite to the podium Mr. Gerald Nsomba, of the Managing Director for Export Development Fund, who is going to touch on the facilities that are available to support export films that are exporting to South Africa and the US as well as other countries. Mr. Gerald Nsomba, welcome to the podium.
Thank you very much, Madam Director of Ceremonies, and good morning to all. May I begin by recognizing the presence of the Minister of Trade, as well as the Acting Deputy Mission Director for USAID. And please allow me to recognize and stand on all protocol that has already been observed. I would like to thank our hosts for giving us the opportunity to be part of this auspicious and inaugural awards for our exporters. It is something that is commendable and we should all be supporting going forward. I will be presenting on the financing instruments that are dedicated to support exporting merchants so that they are able to take their goods to both South Africa and the United States, as well as other markets. I represent the Export Development Fund. We are a development finance institution that was created by the Central Bank in Malawi in 2012 when they saw a gap in instruments for supporting exports, mainly in the market. They thought that that gap could best be filled by a development finance institution, given that the private sector operators in the financial services industry, mainly the commercial banks, have limitations in terms of risk appetite for export finance. Our vision is to support the goal of the government of Malawi to make sure that we are overturning the perennial problem of current account deficits, which are detrimental to the long-term sustainability of our developmental priorities. Our mission is to help grow the exports, as well as see if we could support some substitution via our own manufacturing sector becoming more robust. We do provide both financing interventions, but noting that the challenges that face our exporters go beyond financing. They also extend to trade facilitation. We do have some trade facilitation interventions to help our exporters become competitive. On the products, we do have a lot of products, but this morning we are going to focus on trade finance products. After that, we will demonstrate one or two facilitation initiatives that are dedicated to exporters. But beyond that, we do have other products, because our mission and priorities have been revised lately. We are proud to announce that we are actively supporting the structural transformation of the country, and therefore the productivity or the production side is also a priority, and we have products for manufacturers and other things. But on the trade finance programs, the main one is the first one, as you can see, pre-export and post-shipment finance. But we have given it a term called export packing credit. This comprises of pre-export loans to allow exporters to get liquidity after getting proven orders, so that they either aggregate the produce or they procure and supply the goods. The second part of the export packing credit is for shipment. These are loans that are now provided to the exporters against shipments that have already been made. These are granted from the date of extending the credit after shipment of the goods, so that should the exporter have some liquidity requirements post-shipment, then we should continue financing until the date they are paid. The export packing credit is very important, especially for an economy like ours, because as you can imagine, we can be very good at production, we can be very good at mobilization. But if our exporters do not have financing to procure goods, maybe to transform them in a very basic manner, to have appropriate packaging, because packaging is also very important in the export business, that can be a determinant of how competitive you are compared to the next exporter. Until you ship and meet all the standards for the destination markets, both under the AGOA as well as to South Africa, if we do not have a properly packaged product like that in an economy, then you find that our exporters are being beaten by exporters in other countries simply because of lack of appropriate financing. That was the philosophy that drove us to develop the export packing credit, and it is available to both medium, large, as well as small scale exporters. The second category is the foreign input facility. This one is a foreign exchange loan to either manufacturers or processors or any exporter that may have some foreign input into their export product. And we are targeting small and medium scale enterprises so that they can import, whether it is capital equipment, packaging materials, and any other raw materials that would be required to finalize their products before they are exported to the destination markets. We are aware that even under the AGOA, you are allowed even to import some of the products, transform them, or some components of your export product. You can import, transform, and then export, and that is permissible, as well as to South Africa. And therefore, if our exporters do not have those foreign exchange loans to help them import the foreign component of their production, they may not be as competitive. And that's why we came up with the foreign input facility. The third one is the stocking facility. This one is for processors of exportable goods to stock up some materials. As you can imagine, the cyclicality of our rain-fed agriculture sector means that availability of some exportable raw materials or materials for processing into exported goods, the availability is seasonal. And therefore, if they do not have a huge working capital facility for them to stock up, then it means that their business will also follow the cyclicality factors of the production. To help obviate that, we provide a stocking facility where they can aggregate their commodities against orders, they warehouse them, and then they export according to the shipping schedule that has been agreed with the off-takers, either in South Africa or it can be in the United States or other markets. The fourth product that we want to present is the warehouse receipt finance, and I think this one is well known in most parts, and I'm sure people are already familiar. This is inventory financing to unlock liquidity for either farmers or manufacturers or traders or processors, where they deposit some commodities into a warehouse, and against that, warehouse receipts are issued, and they can get some liquidity against the deposited commodities so that they continuously have working capital. And with that working capital, they can go on and mobilize or aggregate additional commodities, bring them back to warehouse. As long as they have another warehouse receipt, they can continuously deposit those receipts for release of some liquidity. The philosophy of this product is that some trade cycles are quite long, but our exporters need to aggregate a lot of commodities. Availability of huge facilities is limited. People mark limits that correspond to the risk that they look at in a client. And therefore, the best way is to help them monetize what they have already aggregated and deposited in a warehouse to have additional liquidity to aggregate more products. And then they can satisfy their export orders. The fifth one is the receivables purchase or discounting. As you can imagine, exporting may mean that there is a payment delay according to the trade terms. Sometimes payment comes soon after shipment and you're paid against documents. But more often than not, off-takers would like to lengthen the payment cycle so that they also manage their working capital on their side. It means that we also have to help our own exporters on our side to manage their working capital, because if they just trend along the lengthy payment cycle, then their activity may be constrained. So receivables purchase or discounting means that we are financing the exporter against receivables of goods or services that have been sold to the export destination. What would be remaining is the actual payment date. So if payment is in 60 or 90 days, we are able to purchase those receivables at a discounted rate and release liquidity to the exporter, because the liquidity is very important for them to continue aggregating or mobilizing additional commodities, processing them, packaging, and continuously export without facing working capital challenges. The sixth one is the Export Credit Guarantee Program. We are proud to announce ourselves as an emerging export credit agency for the Republic of Malawi. The reason is that we now need to support exporters to break into frontier export markets. As this gathering would imagine, commercial banks traditionally would be very risk averse when it comes to new markets, particularly because destination risks could be beyond their capacity to mitigate. But us working as an export credit agency, we are now linking up with other ECAs, other Exim banks, other development finance institutions in South Africa. We are also reaching out to the United States and other parts of the world to make sure that we bring on board payment instruments from all those potential export destination markets. And therefore, we can issue guarantees to our exporters in Malawi or their bankers for them to obtain large facilities to finance their export business. And the commercial banks would, in that case, not be worried about the destination risk because they would have taken on the export development fund risk via the guarantee. On our side, we also do not worry about political and other risks in the destination markets or any other risk event because we would have benefited from payment instruments in the destination markets. In so doing, we are now acting as a conduit and an enabler for banks and other non-bank financial institutions to actively support our exporters with export finance, noting that the destination risks, the risks beyond Malawi borders, would have been mitigated via the Export Development Fund guarantee. So those are the main trade finance programs that we wanted to showcase to our exporters this morning. But like I said, beyond that, we have a number of other products in the manufacturing industry and other things which may not be of interest for this gathering. To unpack just one, but I will not take more time, the export parking credit, it aims to bridge the gap in financing towards Malawian exporters, particularly regarding meeting costs related to procurement of raw materials, processing, packaging, and other direct expenses like wages and so on related to exports. So we are providing one package to cater for all the expenses, all the costs to make our exporters very efficient in their business. But beyond efficiency, we are looking at competitiveness because let us all remember that as we are supporting Malawian exporters, other countries are also actively supporting their exporters, and we are in a competition. And therefore, our exporters need to be helped so that they can actively compete with their counterparts in other markets. We are aiming to also increase participation by SMEs in production value chains via the export tracking credit. And we are introducing innovative instruments like the domestic letters of credit and similar other instruments that may deepen the trade finance system. We are looking at growing the number of export manufacturers from Malawi, but priority is with light manufacturers, and increasingly we will look at other value addition activities, especially from agricultural commodities. We are highlighting the eligibility and other criteria because it's cross-cutting across most of our products. The eligible entities have to be Malawian or own a Malawian-owned entity registered under the company registry in Malawi and must demonstrate that at least 30% of their goods or services produced are destined for export markets. The eligible costs include procurement. I think I've covered most of these things. It is important for our exporters to know that we cover all these, including wages and other direct costs like transportation, shipping, handling, and also payment for insurance, packaging and branding. And I do emphasize that these help our exporters to have quality packaging and also branding that meet the criteria as well as the standards in the export destinations. We offer tenors of up to 360 days for simple trade cycles, but we are very flexible. Our financing cycle can go up to 24 months, that is 2 years, because sometimes the chain can be very long. And sources of repayment includes any other trade finance instruments like letters of credit, acceptances, or equivalent instruments. We do seek collateral, but there's a lot of flexibility, noting that the businesses we are supporting emerging and therefore may not have a lot of assets to pledge as security. So the gathering may note that we accept assignment of export contracts as a part of security, as well as assignment of proceeds or any other cash flows from the exporter. Also, promissory notes that may be issued by any financial institution, and we do take charges over collection accounts so that we ring-fence the receivable from the off-taker. As for the application requirements, our website provides all this information, but of course, I do have to emphasize to our exporters, and please have a lot more patience with us. The destination for our exports, the destination markets like South Africa, the United States, they require us to conform to KYC and other traceability mechanisms. The last 30 seconds, I have to mention that we have an EDF incubation program where we are helping SMEs, and this is part of our trade facilitation. We are helping them to train them on how to export, because financing is not the only impediment. They have to know how to export, what standards they have to meet, things of packaging and other things, and also introducing them to off-takers in destination markets. Let me stop there, and we could take questions even after the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nsomba. It's very encouraging to see your focus on the SMEs. You are very intentional in terms of how you have packaged the services so that you can service or you can support the SMEs to export. I was also very encouraged to say how you're positioning yourself as the emerging export credit agency for Malawi. This is very good news for the SMEs in Malawi, that as well as the other traders that are aiming at export. Indeed, we cannot talk of export without the financing facilities that can support us to do what we're supposed to do. And if you have also come across, for the participants, you have come across the information that there is a market for organic products out there. And we are blessed this morning that we have among the speakers, Mr. Stanley Chidaya. He is the CEO of Moga, and he is going to also make a presentation on the support that is available for organic product exporters. Mr. Chidaya, you're welcome to the podium.
Thanks very much for being part of the program. I would like to recognize the presence of the Director of Trade in the Ministry of Trade. I'd like to recognize our fellow promoters in Malawi and uphold all the protocols that have been observed in this program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my work this morning is to make a presentation on the available support to organic export firms in Malawi. As the MC has already explained, the available support in Malawi that can facilitate export of organic products from Malawi to everywhere in the world, including America. Introduction. Malawi Organic Association is a national membership organization of organic producers, processors, traders, and researchers that promote organic agricultural development in Malawi. As an organization, MOGA was officially registered in the year 2000. There are currently over 37,000 registered farmers that are involved in the organic agriculture. The main purpose of MOGA is to promote productivity, profitability, and sustainability of organic agriculture across the country. We have, as an organization, we have a vision. The vision is simple: empowered organic operators that promote sustainable. And our mission is simply to promote the interest of organic operators through the promotion of organic production, standards, certification, market access, and organization of farmer management and development. Just to explain on our mission, we have understood in our strategic development system that organization of farmers to promote export is very important. Now, doing that is not enough. We need to improve on the quality of products, and that requires implementation of certain organic certification systems. So as an organization, if our vision is not linked to the quality of products, then the export of those products might be rejected in that country. So that is also a very important strategic element which we think should be commissioned. The main objectives, I think, can be summarized into three. Number one, to promote organic production and advocacy. We can't promote production without advocating it, because so many people have arguments about it. But then the advocacy helps us to stand and represent the very farmers whom we say they are the promoters. Number two, as I said, quality control is very important. Certification is very important then you can't do that without basing on certain specific guidelines. Those guidelines are called organic standards. Now our work is to facilitate the development of organic standards, the implementation of organic standards, and make sure that the accreditation of those are adhered to local and international framework. Number three, which is very important, is to support market access among exporters, among operators. We do this through the specific services that have been aligned in our system. Number one, in our system. But before I speak about the services which we do, I just want to highlight the achievements that we have done so far. Having 37,000 farmers across the country in Malawi is a huge achievement. And normally we do this through participation of the farmers themselves who have interest. Now capturing farmers across the country who have interest is a very big job. That is what we say is an achievement for us. Now also having master trainers who will go out and support these farmers across the country is very good achievement for us, because we know that services now are dissolved going down to where the farmers are. And also having an achievement in terms of developing the value chains. Remember that the organic agriculture requires following specific provisions. Now, having the system that would support the market access, development of such value chains, I think is also an achievement. And I will just highlight some few crops that have gone through that line. soya beans, sugar beans, groundnuts, coffee, sugar, macadamia, mangoes, bananas, and some horticultural crops such as garlic and leafy vegetables. Extending from there, I would now allow me to present the services that we have available in Malawi. If someone would want to be an organic producer, an organic operator, maybe is a trader, is a processor, maybe is a producer or is financing, where should do, what services are available? As an organization, the training of farmers in quality production is very important. We do this through establishment of certification schemes, development of internal control systems, making sure that there is proper audit, traceability, all that is very important. We also support the cost sharing of certification, about 50% towards organic certification for smallholder farmers. It is expensive. One of the challenges that we have is the high cost of certification in organic agriculture. Now, to make sure that we incentivize the smallholder farmers, that subsidy is available for smallholder farmers, or everyone, or a cooperative, or a big trader that is working with smallholder farmers. We also assist exporters in preparation of export information, documentation, product quality, and grading. Organizing farmers, because of COVID, we are not able to facilitate the trade fairs, but usually in the past, we used to be bringing farmers together, making fairs, making conferences, making field visits, and make sure that there is information on the quality and export of the organic products. Promotion of anchor farmers. You understand that some farmers have small production units. Now, aggregating that requires somebody who will play that role to bring all those farmers connected together. That a link has to be done by an anchor. That anchor helps in facilitating the togetherness of farmers, making sure that they are doing one unit work and facilitate trade. That has been also very much important service within the system. With that, I think because of the time that I was given, I think I have made my presentation. Thanks very much for listening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chidaya. I think your presentation encourages us that dreaming of going organic is not a far-fetched dream anymore. You are there to handhold the exporter on the procedures required. And at this moment, I have the honor to invite to the podium the Deputy Director for Foreign Trade, Mr. Mufa Muntali, who is representing the Ministry of Trade this morning to make a statement from the Ministry of Trade. Mr. Mufa Muntali, you have the podium. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Master of Ceremony. Standing in on behalf of the Minister who was invited to attend this meeting, and because of other commitments is not able to attend. Equally, the PS has joined the Minister for the other function. As a result, I've been given the mandate to represent him, so all powers are invested in me. And what I'm gonna do is to read his statement on his behalf. But before I do so, I would like to make two quick announcements that the Minister is not gonna make a statement on National Export Strategy and AGOA Response Strategy as highlighted in the agenda. The Minister is adding voice to this noble, innovative way of doing things. This initiative is very good, so we're adding voice to that. The second issue is that we are so much delighted. We'd like to inform you that the Malawi Investment Trade Center will also be conducting the similar next year, the Export Annual Award for 2022. and would like to learn as much as possible from this initiative because we don't need to reinvent a wheel. To us, this will be the second, this is the first. And take into account that we're having next year, we can take some good cue from here. So we urge the hub to work with us to have open arms. Having said that, I would read the speech as follows. Dr. Annie Tonis, USAID Deputy Director, or USAID officials resident in Malawi, or USAID Trade Hub officials resident in Malawi as well as South Africa and Botswana, representative of the Grain Traders and Processors Association, representative of the Organic Growers Association, all protocols observed. I'm delighted to preside over the first ever Malawi Exporter Award 2021 this morning. As you all know, exports play a vital role in economic growth of any country, which is why government is striving to create a conducive environment to promoting high-value exports through greater ease of doing business, implementing the national export strategy, and providing infrastructure support and facilities for quality and standardization. Government is also flat out for looking for market access opportunities globally and also signing preferential trade agreements to realize the agenda of being an export-led economy. In line with the Agenda 63, as we all understand that the Agenda 63 underlines the importance of wealth creation, job creation, inclusiveness, and this transformative agenda is done through, among others, agriculture productivity and commercialization, as well as industrialization. Therefore, agriculture productivity and commercialization, including industrialization, are at the heart of the transformation agenda. I would like to also highlight here that in terms of the export development and market access government is undertaking, recently government facilitated signing of MOU with the government of India for export of over 50,000 tons of metric tons of pigeon peas every year for the next 5 years. This brings out to our exporters to be ready. These are value added, both raw and processed one with the quota DA. So our exporters should be ready to prepare for themselves for the next 5 years, and it may be incremental as we move on. It has also signed an economic cooperation agreement. I understand I'm not being audible enough. I don't know what, now I can be heard, yes. It has also signed a trade and economic cooperation with South Africa in order to improve the market access for our products into South Africa. This is an area which would like our exporters to take advantage of. Recently, government also signed and facilitated an MOU with South Sudan for the export of agricultural commodities to South Sudan. And this is an area that we would like our exporters to focus on. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if I do not mention about the critical moment we are in, then I may not perhaps be fair with it. Indeed, COVID pandemic has brought in some challenges into our economy that we are facing a global challenge as well. Countries like Malawi, whose major export destination, including South Africa, United States of America, and the European Union, have affected them drastically. There's a scourge, and this has a knock-on effect in terms of our export to these countries. As of now, we are registering negative trade balance. I'll give you some figures. In 2020, for instance, the major and export trade decreased by 36% from 1.2 billion US dollar, our export value, to about 730 million US dollars. So you can see how largely this pandemic has affected this country. Therefore, we need to work on economic and productive recoveries and also building resilience. It's where perhaps we have to work together with the hub. How do we build resilience in this regard? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to learn that USAID Trade Hub is working with some exporting firms in Malawi and other targeted Southern African countries to increase exports to South Africa and the US under their GOA, as well as the SADC trade protocol. I therefore want to commend them for joining hands with the government in advancing the export agenda for this nation. However, I would like to urge the hub to collaborate with institutions that promote investment and export in Malawi, such as the Malawi Investment Trade Center, in order to facilitate the best outcomes of AGOA. If you look at the figures now, the figures are not as good as it were. And this requires concerted effort to reverse some of these figures. I believe that we need to create some incentives to stimulate production of high value products for exports under AGOA in line with our Agenda 63. The AGOA response strategy should be put into action. What perhaps the EDF was talking about, these are some of the areas where we find that the issues, access to finance, is one of the constraining issue under AGOA production. Issue of access to technology, these are some of the issues that we have to deal with. I would like to encourage the hub as well to continue working with SMEs, particularly women. I'm delighted that women are engaged with the hub, and also the youth. This is support. This is a segment that will need hand-holding. They need a lot of support if indeed we are to realize the best out of the initiative that we have. Let me also not relent. Let us also not relent in our pursuit of innovative solutions and strategies that accelerate Malawi export development. Issues like digital trade should be embraced as we're moving towards the digital agenda. These are some of the areas that we need to put emphasis on. The team at the Ministry of Trade and the Malawi Investment Trade Center is ready to work with the hub in this area. Let me take this opportunity now to congratulate those who have been nominated for the award for their remarkable achievements, and I hope that they'll be aspiring to move upwards, more importantly, moving towards the regional awards. And also, they should be aspiring that every year they should be coming towards the top. I congratulate you for your effort, and truly, together we can make Malawi an export hub in Southern Africa if we embrace togetherness and hard work and emphasize on productivity. One thing, however, I need to remind our nominated members that we need to emphasize on enhancement of our productive capacities and also quality control. Quality of the product is an essential part that would help to boost exports. We should also be thinking of world-class standards while considering the quality aspects of the product or the service. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, let me thank the USAID Trade Hub for collaborating with the Grain Traders and Processors Association, the Malawi Organic Growers Association, and the P Institute in organizing this great and important event. As I indicated, that MITC is contemplating of organizing the 2022 Malawi Export Award. I would like to invite all these institutions to work with the Malawi Investment Trade Center so that the 2022 Export Award could be a success. With these few remarks, I thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director. Very much encouraging to see the government leadership on this, the export agenda. And yes, the encouragement of collaboration, we cannot overemphasize that. It has come out very clearly. And yeah, the calling on SADHub and other partners to work with MITC and the ministry to advance the awards that are coming next year. This is a very encouraging development. And I, as a woman, I was also very happy to hear that you're emphasizing the need to work with women and the youth. We cannot move forward if we're not involving the women and especially the youth. At this moment, I would like to invite Mr. Nyeka. There was an organizing team, as I mentioned, that was working on this. He's going to present very briefly on the criteria for selection of the awards. Mr. Nyeka.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. I would like to observe all the protocols which my fellow presenters have mentioned. Just to give a context to my presentation, I will be providing the evaluation criteria which was used to select the winners in the Malawi Exporter Awards. We had two categories, one which was exporting to the Republic of South Africa, and also another category was exports to the United States of America. For the exports to the Republic of South Africa, we had 6 applicants: Tawonga Cooking Oil Processing Enterprise, Homes Industry, Comforts Plantations Limited, Mzuzu Coffee, and Grain Hub and Logistics. For those exporting to the United States of America, we had Homes Industry, Mzuzu Coffee, Comforts Plantations, and Tauzi. So you can see that there was an overlap, and I would say a total of applicants was 6, consolidating the list of those exporting to the Republic of South Africa and those exporting to the United States of America. So there was a panel which was set up to look at the various evaluation criteria, which I'm about to mention, and we had a total of 5 of them, which all had an allocation of 10 marks. So the first one was on innovation. We were looking at the innovative practices these institutions they displayed in their business practices. We also looked at the market development by looking at the issues of the go-to-market strategies and the results in issues of value and volume. We also looked at people and culture. The emphasis was on the achievements in terms of job creation. We also had strategic business practices, which focused on leadership teams' strengths, compliance with relevant regulations. And finally, we had the financial performance, which focused on the revenue growth, profitability improvement within the period which were given as part of their evaluation. So these were the evaluation criteria which were used, and we chose the winners based on those 5 pillars, and it also included the marks which they were scored against. Thank you very much.
Madam MC, we don't hear you at this moment. I don't.
Madam MC, we cannot hear you.
We can't hear you.
Madam MC.
You're muted.
Her mic's actually on.
Still
so
working.
a connection problem.
Maybe we play music to prompt her.
Golden, we can see you waving.
Hello, we cannot hear you. Hello.
No.
I think it's a connection
Okay.
problem.
It's a connection.
Anna?
Yeah, maybe a delay.
Dr. Anna, I see your hand. Please go ahead. We have a backup, so if we don't have her online soon, we will have to move to our backup.
Yes. I'll be ready to take over from here.
We are offline.
Oh, you're
Oh,
back.
you're back.
Welcome.
Okay. So I go again.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the time that we have been waiting for, the presentation of the awards, the 2021 Export Awards for Malawi. And we have two categories, the export to South Africa and the export to the US market. So I'm going to invite the Deputy Director for Foreign Trade, Mr. Mufa Muntali, to present the awards for the export to South Africa. And then in terms of order, first, sir, you're going to present the second runners-up, the first runners-up, and then the winner for export of the year to South African markets. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. It's my pleasure. There's an echo at the background. Would we all? Yeah, thank you very much. It's my single pleasure and honor to announce the second runners-up, the category Export to South Africa. It is Kamfozi Plantation Limited. Can we upload Kamfozi Plantation Limited, please, as second runners-up? Brilliant. We'll go now to the first runners-up. The first runners-up is Mzuzu Coffee Planters Cooperative Union. Mzuzu, can we clap hands for them? Thank you very much. Now we go to the winner, the overall winner with regard to export South Africa. The winner is let me get a deep breath. Homes Industries Limited. Excellent, brilliant. Now I just want to inform the audience here who Home Industries are. We would like to know who they are. Home Industries Limited is a female-owned. I'm proud to be associated with these women. A female-owned and wholly Malawian agro-processing enterprise based in Karonga, up north. The industry works with over 1,500 smallholder farmers in growing rice, sunflower, and groundnuts. Groundnuts are peanuts, which are processed into brown and white rice for the rice, then cold pressed sunflower for the sunflower, and peanut flour and peanut butter for the peanuts, which are marketed domestically and internationally. So a big hand to Home Industries Limited. I thank you.
Madam MC, we cannot hear you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to Homes Industry. And at this juncture, I would like to invite Dr. Ann to present the AGOA Awards, the export to the US market.
Thank you very much. It is my honor and pleasure to be able to make these announcements as well. We will start similarly with the second runner-up. This is for Exporter of the Year for the U.S. market. Goes to Mzuzu Coffee Planters Cooperative Union. Congratulations. And the first runner-up was Homes Industries. Congratulations. And now to go to the winner of Exporter of the Year to the United States market, Conforzi Plantations Limited. Congratulations. Well done. Excellent. And let me just read briefly. So Conforzi Plantations is a Malawian firm involved in the processing and marketing of tea, macadamia, and poultry products. Conforzi's tea and macadamia are exported primarily to destinations in the United States, in South Africa, and the European Union, while its poultry products, on the other hand, are for local consumption, distributed through outlets and main supermarket chains here in Malawi. So again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Anne. Congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, now it's the time to announce the overall winner for the Malawi Annual Exporters Award 2021. I would like to invite the ladies to announce the overall winner. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, on behalf of the Minister of Trade, Honorable Sosten Gwenwe, MP, I'm now announcing the overall winner exporter of the year 2021 is Conforzi Plantation Limited. Thank you, Conforzi.
Woo!
Thank you so much. Congratulations for getting the award for the Annual Exporter of the Year 2021. And at this juncture, I just want to congratulate all winners and indeed all the nominees for the efforts that we're making to put Malawi on the map in the export space. Indeed, we are making strides to making Malawi the export hub in the Southern Africa region. And as we move on, I would like to invite to hand over to Charles Nyeka, who is going to make the closing remarks for this event. Thank you so much for being part of this event. I've enjoyed being hosting this event, and your participation. I've also been so much motivated by the information that it has been given by the various stakeholders that made the presentation. You've all made this event beautiful. Over to you, Mr. Nyeka.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. I really would like to thank you for your wonderful performance. You have coordinated this session well, and I really would like to thank you for that. Allow me to also thank the USAID Trade Hub officials who are present online. I would also like to thank the Ministry of Trade officials who are also present. Allow me also to thank my colleagues who were together as a coordinating team at a local level in Malawi, MOGA and the GTPA. I would also like to special thank Douglas Msisia, who did not leave us alone, because this was a first-time activity for most of us, but he was around to guide us through the process. And I also like to thank all participants who are here virtually, and also those who may listen to this on a recording. It is very interesting to note how we have come to an end of this event. Especially, I would like to congratulate Komfozi to be the overall winner of the Malawi Export Award, and also respectively to congratulate Komfozi again to be the winner for USA exports, and also congratulate Homes Industry to be the winner as an exporter for the Republic of South Africa. As someone who is coming from the micro, small and medium enterprises, it is encouraging to note that we have a number of SMEs in the as participants in this award, and more especially to see that one of the award has gone to a female entrepreneur. So this is something very commendable, and I would like to encourage all entrepreneurs in Malawi, also women, to participate in this program. The AGOA strategy goes as far as 2025, and it is something which I would like to encourage all fellow entrepreneurs to take part in this. It is also important to note that the AGOA export has increased from 2020 to 2021, as it was also reported by the Trade Hub acting director, that from 2020 it was 7.7 million US dollars, and in 2021 it is 15.8 million dollars, which was like it has doubled. So it is very encouraging to note such trend that despite we are going through this pandemic, there are so positive developments which we have seen in the export market. So I would like to encourage all the SMEs to continue working hard. And as a team, I also like to congratulate ourselves for taking part in this. And I think we should be ambassadors by creating awareness about this AGOA strategy so that people can also take part in this. With these few remarks, I would like to thank you all and wish you all the best. God bless.
So much. Thank you so much, Mr. Nyekanyeka. We forgot one critical step in this process, and that is the acceptance speech from the award winners. So at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite Homes Industry to make an acceptance speech for the award that they have received. Thereafter, we're going to have a word from Komfozi.
Thank you very much, Madam Mistress of Ceremonies, and thank you very much, everyone, for this moment, this event, this activity, with all protocols observed. And forgive my mix-up, because we really, we're in a space that has got so much excitement and it's all over the place. But allow me to thankfully and humbly accept this and consider it an opening for good things to come in the future. I would also like to thank the US Trade Hub for this opportunity. I would like to thank the Malawi government for actually allowing for this to come through. But then for Homes Industry, most importantly, I would like to thank the Homes Industries team, because without them, none of this would have happened. in a very, very brief moment, allow me to acknowledge the importance and the importance of technology that has enabled us to survive this throughout the pandemic. Allow me also to acknowledge the efforts that all the players have put, all the effort that the players have put into this event, and that we can only hope for more players to come into play. Malawi is capable of producing bigger and better, and also achieving their contributions to the GDP of our economy if these kinds of developments and events are actually advanced. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, US Trade Hub. Thank you, everyone that was involved in putting this together. And we can only hope for the best, and one day we will be able to get to the top, like the director from the ministry said. Once again, I would like to profoundly say thank you to the Homes Industries team for also making it possible for Homes Industries to be able to achieve this. Thank you.
Well, the trophy that is going to Homes. Yeah. Trade Hub is going to find a way that it finds you where you are. Welcome, Kofosi. Any representative from Kofosi?
Chair, I believe
Ishmael
is from Konfuzi. Ishmael?
Ishmael mentioned in the chat box that he was having trouble hearing. He might have a connectivity problem.
These are the awards that are the trophies that are going to Konfosi.
Will Dad want to accept it on his behalf?
On Konfosi's behalf.
Thank you. On behalf of Kofosi Plantations, I would like to thank the organizing team, but also the USA Trade Hub for facilitating trade linkages as well as trade enhancing services that have enabled the institution to achieve export excellence. It's quite an amazing job to have 2 awards, especially to be the overall winner and also to be the export of the year to the US market, which we are working very hard to enable Malawian exporters to be able to access. With these few remarks, thank you so much. And I'll just forward the trophies that will be making their way to Cholo, to the tea estates for Kofosi. Thank you.
We have come to the close of the event. As we close, we're going to have praise playing the music as people are exiting. Thank you so much once again for joining the event. It couldn't have been possible without your presence. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't wanna hold you down. I'm not trying to slow you down. I've seen what you want and I know these dreams you wanna live. I've seen it all. I don't want you to wake up and lose it all. I don't want you to wake up and lose it all, my dear. No, 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 no. Ndintima uige basi mwana wanga, iwe ndima uige basi mwana wanga, pori zose ndaziga mu nthawi yanga, ine zose ndaziga mu nthawi yanga. No, I don't wanna hold you down. I'm not trying to slow you down. I don't wanna hold you back. I don't want you to wake up and lose it all. I don't want you to wake up and lose it all. But see, these dreams you want to live, I seen it all. I said I see what you want and I know. Who it is, someone I got. You and who it is, someone I got. But it's on Stassi, I'm telling you now. It is on Stassi, I'm telling you now. Who it is, someone I got. You and who it is, someone I got. But it's on Stassi, I'm telling you now. It is on Stassi, I'm telling you now. But see, I made everything beautiful when it's time. I said I made everything beautiful when it's time. That's why I say don't rush, don't. Just slow down, slow. Just don't rush, don't. Just slow down, slow. 'Cause your time is coming, it's coming. Your time is coming. It's coming, I say your time is coming. It's coming, your time is coming. Oh, we got someone on God. You want to know we got someone on God. But it's on Sindasi, I'm on Tawianga. It is on Sindasi, I'm on Tawianga. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Goodbye.
Thank you for participating. Bye.
Bye, bye. Very enjoyable.